There is nothing greater you can do for our country than serve its military. For a man named Derek White, that was his dream, and he made that dream come true. But it only took a second for all of it to come crashing down. CBS 410's Ashley Cullinane sat down with the combat veteran who is now defying the odds and helping others along the way. He truly knows the weights of war.
You can fall down and stay down, or you can get up and come back stronger. That's the message Derek White shares with everyone he meets. He's endured a lot more than most, but for him, it's created the man he is today.
We still have that old soldier mentality. We're sort of brutish. So like, no, we don't rest, we don't stretch, we don't eat well, and we don't care.
For Derek White, routine is key.
Every day, me and Billy, every day, we wake up at 5, we work out.
The sweat, the rush. This lifestyle is ingrained in Derek. It all started back home in the Midwest.
I grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm 30 years old, born in '85. I had a pretty standard upbringing.
He played sports, drank beer, skipped class. Pretty standard stuff.
My story gets interesting about the time I turned like 17 or so, I think.
In 2004, Derek joined the 82nd Airborne Division.
So like the dude who was afraid of roller coasters is now jumping out of airplanes.
By 2006, he had served 2 tours in Iraq.
I was that young private that thought I was like going to single-handedly win the war on terror. You know, like, obviously I knew that wasn't true, but that was my mentality. Like, you know, I wanted to fight.
On the night of June 23rd, 2007, his life would change forever.
I'm lined up here, my guys beating the door in, and the rest of my team is stacked. The middle lock breaks, all the glass shatters. We hear the guys inside wake up. They start yelling. We hear dude rack an AK, and it's like, okay, like, we're going in, like, we're gonna be shooting. 10, 15 meters in front of me, I just see a spray of AK fire. And the next thing I know, like, I'm just looking up. My team moved over top of me, like they just walked over me and shot their way in the house, and I'm sitting there laying on the ground, and it's really weird because I wasn't like, I was conscious, but I wasn't thinking. Like, instincts kicked in, training kicked in.
Derek was flown to Germany, then taken to Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C.
I'd taken a bullet side to side through my knee. You know how your knee kind of looks like this? The bullet came through here and just blew everything out.
So Derek started to undergo a series of major surgeries, but he wasn't done being a soldier.
Still focused on healing up, doing what I needed to do to return to my unit. But then but the Army couldn't fix me, you know, and then in November 2008, I got the phone call that they were going to start the medical board process.
He had no choice but to retire.
And so I felt like, because that part of my life was over, my life in general was just over. Like, there was, and I lived without goals or hope or any desire to live, essentially, you know, and for a couple of years I struggled. You know, like, I was the classic veteran story. You know, like, too much drinking, depression, visits to jail, visits to psych wards.
Derek was down. Then he was offered the opportunity to get back up. In 2010, a friend of his convinced him to take part in an endurance race in Colorado, a race called the Tough Mudder. He was hitting the gym again. The race awakened his desire to compete.
For the first time in a long time, I was looking forward again.
But soon after this race, the pain in his leg became unbearable. He asked surgeons again to amputate it. They finally agreed.
I had the spirit and the mentality and the drive to do cool things on a fake leg.
The rest is a love story between Derek and purpose-driven fitness.
I started a nonprofit called The Next Objective, and in short, what we do is we give grants to deserving veterans for pretty much anything fitness related, like gym memberships, personal training, event sponsoring, and then what we call miscellaneous.
He also began his own clothing line and became a sponsored athlete. And along the way, Derek became a cyber celebrity, amassing a massive following on social media.
Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Derek White.
From Facebook to YouTube to Instagram.
I'm up to like 750,000 followers on the internet, and it wasn't planned.
People reach out for advice or just to thank him for being an inspiration. But it turns out there's a lot of humility behind this beard.
I didn't see myself as a source of inspiration. You know, somebody sees me crutching 7 miles in the mountains on an obstacle course race and they call me an inspiration. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just kind of like one of those guys that's too stupid to quit.
This December, Derek Wida made the borderland his home.
I came to El Paso for the women and the tacos. I heard both were great in this city, and to be honest, I am not let down.
What he's really doing is working with fellow veterans. He's spreading his message to people right here in El Paso, like Fort Bliss soldier Matt Service. Matt works out with Derek.
I just see him and everything he does, and it just makes me want to push myself a little harder.
A little harder. A little faster. Derek's taking it day by day and helping others find a light out of the darkness.
A professional would look at us and call us idiots, but we're smiling and we're happy and we're enjoying life, you know.
Derek doesn't know how long he'll stay in El Paso, but while he's here, his mission is to help others who have served. He's hosting a workout for military members and veterans on February 27th. It's from 12 to 4 at Push Fitness in West El Paso. For a link to Derek's social media pages, click on this story on CBS4Local.com. In the studio, Ashley Cullinane, CBS4 at 10.
You can make that 750,001 followers on the internet. I am officially now a fan.